Have you ever felt that your own family is the main source of stress and suffering in your life? Maybe it's parents or relatives who constantly criticize, control, and make you feel like you're never good enough. Maybe family dinners, instead of being warm and loving, turn into a battlefield of harsh words and judgment. With toxic friends or coworkers, we can choose to walk away. But with family, sometimes cutting ties completely is not an option. So how can we protect our inner peace when we must live with or face such a toxic environment? In this video, we'll turn to the wisdom of the Stoics, like Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius, to learn how to deal with toxic family without losing ourselves. The Stoics remind us of a simple but powerful truth. Some things are within our control, and some are not. Epictetus said, "We cannot choose our parents, but we can choose how we respond to them." You cannot control what your father says when he criticizes you. You cannot control the gossip your relatives spread. You cannot control if your family refuses to understand you. But you can control how much you let those words affect your mind. You can choose whether to argue back or stay calm in silence. You can decide the boundaries you set for your own peace. When you remember this, you stop fighting unwinnable battles. You stop expecting toxic people to suddenly change. Instead, you reclaim your energy by focusing on what is always yours: your judgment, your actions, your inner freedom. To apply Stoicism in real life, remember these 3 key strategies. 1. Set boundaries calmly. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Build yourself a fortress of the mind, so no harm can touch your soul." This doesn't mean you must cut ties completely. It means knowing your limits, how far you'll let family influence you, and where your red lines are. Boundaries could mean avoiding certain topics, refusing to join pointless arguments, or keeping a healthy distance when needed. 2. Practice intentional silence. Toxic people often want to provoke you, to feed off your reaction and gain control. But Epictetus taught, if someone insults you, remember, it is you who allows their words to harm you. Silence isn't weakness, it's the strength of restraint. When you refuse to react, you take back your power. 3. See them as a test of your calmness. Instead of seeing only pain, view toxic relatives as opportunities to train patience and tranquility. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, when you wake up, you will meet people who are meddling, arrogant, envious. But I know their nature, and I will not be harmed. A toxic family can be a harsh classroom, but also the place where you grow stronger in the Stoic way. So, what have we learned? When facing a toxic family you cannot walk away from, what does Stoicism teach us? First, Stoicism reminds us, some things are within our control, and some things are not. You cannot force your parents to stop criticizing. You cannot prevent relatives from gossiping. You cannot expect your family to suddenly change just because you want them to. But you can control how you see the situation, how you respond, and how you protect your inner peace. This is the key to surviving in a toxic environment. Second, we looked at 3 practical Stoic strategies. Set boundaries calmly so others know where you draw the line. Practice intentional silence, refusing to give away your power to insults. And most importantly, see them as a test of your tranquility, turning toxic interactions into training for resilience. But above all, the greatest gift Stoicism offers is inner freedom. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You may chain my body, but no one can chain my mind." A toxic family can take away your comfort, your sense of safety at home. They can create tension and conflict, but they cannot touch what matters most: your thoughts, your choices, your inner freedom. Remember, you are not alone. Every generation has faced toxic families. Even Marcus Aurelius, an emperor of Rome, lived among envy, betrayal, and opposition. But instead of being crushed, he used those challenges as raw material to build his character. And you can too. Every time you stay calm in the face of criticism, you prove that your inner strength is greater than external toxicity. Every time you choose silence instead of fighting back, you affirm that your freedom does not belong to others. And every time you set boundaries, you build a safe space for your soul to rest. In the end, don't see this struggle as a curse, but as an opportunity. A toxic family is not the end of your happiness. They are the fire that tempers steel, making you stronger, calmer, and wiser. If you can find peace in the most turbulent environment, then no storm outside can ever break you. As Epictetus said, "It is not things that disturb us, but our judgments about things." You cannot choose the family you were born into, but you can always choose how to live, how to think, and how to grow from it. So if you are facing a toxic family right now, take a deep breath. Do not run. Do not despair. Stand tall like a Stoic, smile, and remind yourself, this is not a punishment. This is training. And when you keep the flame of inner peace alive, then no matter how much darkness surrounds you, you remain free. You remain yourself.
And that is the perspective from Stoicism. But for me personally, when facing a Stoic family, I feel, to be honest with you, when I studied Stoicism and tried to apply it to dealing with a Stoic family, I realized something. Stoicism never promises that life will be easier. Instead, this philosophy prepares us so that we are ready to face the hardest challenges, even when they come from our own family. For me, this is the toughest part. If a stranger hurts me, I can let it go. But if it comes from parents, brothers, sisters, or relatives, the pain goes much deeper. I believe many of you feel the same, and this is where Stoicism becomes truly helpful. Instead of trying to change your family, something most of us cannot really do, Stoicism tells us to ask, what can I control? What can I not control? When I apply this, I stop expecting too much. I stop hoping people would understand me. I've learned to stay silent when needed, to set clear boundaries, and most of all, to protect my own peace. At first, it was hard. It felt unnatural, but step by step, I noticed I was getting stronger. I don't think Stoicism teaches us to become cold or to cut off all emotions from our family. On the contrary, it teaches us how to love in the right way, to love without destroying ourselves. Sometimes, setting boundaries is not selfish. It's about saving energy, so we can love them in a healthier way. And finally, I realize something important. A toxic family can actually be the biggest test for our growth. If we can stay calm in the hardest environment, then nothing outside can easily break us. This is what makes Stoicism special. It turns suffering into training. This is my personal view. You may agree or you may see it differently. But I believe the most important thing is this. Never let other people's toxicity define who you are.
If you found this video helpful, please take a moment to hit the like button and share it with someone who might also be struggling with a toxic family. And don't forget to subscribe to Stoic Scrolls so you won't miss more Stoic lessons that help you stay calm and strong every day. Leave a comment below. How have you applied Stoicism when dealing with toxic relatives? I'll be reading your thoughts, and the best ones might be featured in a future video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.